Welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. Just a little late, but I'm Death Dealer,
And I'm Pink Piggles.
and we hope everyone's been having a wonderful week. How's your week been, Pink?
Oh gosh, hold on. I forgot that I had it open another tab and we just started talking from
Oh, you
headphones.
can hear it
Okay.
echoing.
Um, I had a very pink week.
Oh,
Um, our family grew by one this week. We have a new pink little kitten. So we
oh,
got her yesterday, actually. So we've had her for all of, just over 24 hours. She is adorable.
is it another hairless cat, or
Yep,
what's
yep.
supposed to be
Another,
hairless? I should
yes,
say
yes.
they're not
Uh,
really as hairless as people like to think, but
it's weird because one of the hairless ones, she is growing a little bit of fur, and it's funny because like she has little tufts of longer fur. I love it. It's adorable. The other one just has like peach fuzz.
Mhm.
So Perry says, "Here's the velvet cat, and here's the sticky cat." The baby, she's only 5 months, so she like doesn't have peach fuzz. She is like sticky, sticky. It's so cute though. But she's a little pinky.
Oh,
So
that's too
she's
funny.
adorable.
Everybody's getting puppies and kittens. I want
Yes.
a new puppy. My
You're
mom
an
just got a
adult. What's
puppy
holding
too.
you back?
I haven't found what I want yet. I have to be very particular because I
Yep.
have an old man, my old man Tank here. He's not just going to let anybody into his house.
Yeah.
He hasn't had to share attention as far as another animal goes since he was a puppy himself. Um, so he's been an only puppy in the house for a long time. So I have to be careful about what I bring in with him because I don't think he's going to want to share too well. He tolerated his sister when I had to babysit his sister.
Yeah.
My mom had his sister, and my mom went out of town one week, so she was like, "Would you mind just take the dog to your house?" I'm like, okay. They've never really had any issues, so I didn't think
Yeah.
anything of it. And the dog likes me, so I was like, "Nah, it's fine." Yeah, the dog was glued to me the whole time, but the few times she ran after Tiny Giant, she decided that Tiny Giant was on the hit list and she was
Yeah.
going after her. And Tank was not a fan of that. He was like, I'll tolerate you being in my house. I'll even tolerate you being on my mom. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to tolerate you picking on my kid. That I'm the only one who's allowed to do that, not you. And he actually like tackled her. She got too close and she went and charged at a Tiny Giant. And
Yeah.
Tank was like, nah, not
Nope,
today,
not happening.
baby. Nah. So, yeah, after that, I was like, gonna have to really
Yeah.
be careful what we bring in because he doesn't seem protective, but apparently he is, which is
Yeah.
fine. I'm not mad at it. He's a good dog. He's kept all kinds of things away from the family. So what
Yeah.
can I say? A random dog? Yeah, let him keep it away. It's fine.
Well, the fluffy cat, she's afraid of everything and everyone, so it doesn't really matter. So then the other two sphinxes that we have, the older one, she's actually like already grooming the baby. They're
Oh,
cool. Um, but then the younger one, because she was the baby, now she's the middle child, I guess. She's not doing so well. So I mean, they're not fighting or anything, but she's hissing at her, growling at her, making sure that like she like no, this is
you
my
have a
place.
place, and it
You're
is
in my
not.
house.
Yeah, it's only where
Yeah.
I tell you you're allowed to be, ma'am.
So it's gonna take it's gonna take a few days, but they're not fighting, so I think it'll be okay. And we got like the little cat diffusers that are supposed to help keep when you have multiple cats in your house, supposed to help keep them calm. So we got a few of those out to hopefully help. So
They're sprinkling catnip everywhere.
we have a little
I
catnip banana, and they all go crazy for this banana. It's funny.
Listen, a word to the wise. I don't know if I've ever told you my catnip story, but you need to be careful with catnip. It is
Yes.
insane the lengths cats will go to get to it, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. They will throw a party in your house.
Didn't you say that you
Absolutely.
had like every cat from the neighborhood came in through the window and like you opened the bedroom door and it was just a neighborhood catnip party?
Yeah. Yeah, they looked at me like I was the one who was, not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I was the one, I was basically the cops in this situation on the call to break up the party, like an
The
underage
record
party.
scratched to a halt and they all stare at you like
Yeah, it was like, I saw cats. I've never seen since. I still have no idea where these cats came from. I don't even think
yeah.
the neighborhood had that many cats. I'm pretty sure they came from other neighborhoods for this party.
Yeah.
So be careful with the catnip, is all I'm saying. Keep it away from the cat, because if there's just the slightest crack in the window, you will have a cat party in your house.
Oh,
Which
don't worry. There are no windows open. It is it's right now, hold on, let me tell you, because it's 82 degrees right now at 10 o'clock at night, and it feels like it's 91 degrees. Again, at 10 o'clock at night, this is what it is. So then,
oh, it feels like 91. You poor thing. You must be melting.
I am. Tomorrow is supposed to be 99, and then
Okay,
Tuesday,
that's a
101. And it's still so incredibly humid. So that's just the actual temperature, not what it's going to feel like it is.
yeah. See, I
Yeah.
can't say
So,
much because it wasn't that hot today. It was only like 87, I think, at the hottest, and it rained a lot. So it's actually cold, right? I mean, it's cold for Florida. It is 78. It'll go down to 73 at some point, but not for. No, actually, scratch that. I lied. It'll only get down to 74, and that'll only be for like an hour or
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
So
So it's going to be 100, and we're still at over 50% humidity. So,
it'll be 92 tomorrow. And I'm sure it's going to be way too humid because it rained all. We get this thing, and it's like it cools down with the rain for like an hour or two, depending on when it rains. If it rains later in the day, it'll get cooler at night, and it'll stay cool until the morning. And then once that sun hits, it is essentially a sauna outside. I don't know why it's been like that for ages, but it gets so humid, it's like hard to breathe. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's
yeah.
like that humidity that just sticks, and it's just difficult to inhale.
Yes.
Ugh, feel like you're drowning. Terrible, terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be disgusting. And I have to go out and about tomorrow. So, ugh, ugh, yeah.
Air condition. Air condition from the house to the car to whatever building you gotta run into. You got push start on your key fob. That is your best friend. Turn the AC down tonight to like 60.
I don't
And
have
then
I don't have push to start, sadly. I know.
make your husband do it.
Dude, he's not even
Listen,
gonna leave the house the next 2 days. He's not even gonna go outside.
he doesn't have to. He just has to walk out and turn your car on for you, and then walk back in the house. Like it'd be the nice thing for you to do.
You know,
Between
the morning's not so bad. That's like manageable. It's, when I'm going to leave work. I'm gonna have to do like 15 minutes before I leave work. I'm gonna have to go outside and start the car, get the air pumping. So then when I actually leave, it'll be ready.
I see we've got a lot of people in the chat. I suppose we should probably say hi to the chat. Wow. Okay, give me a second to read. But you know what? You go ahead and start saying hi, because it's going to take me a minute.
Yes, thank you, Sir X-Men. Yeah, I had to go this morning. I didn't get a bowl this morning. Um, my parents are moving, so we're in this heat wave. We haven't had this hot weather. We haven't had it hit 100 in like years.
Hmm.
Yeah, my parents are moving the next 2 days. Like the moving truck was supposed to come Tuesday when it's 101, and they said, "Well, it's going to be hot, so they're going to come like a partial day tomorrow and then a partial day Tuesday." But my dad's been having some heart problems, so I knew today he'd be sitting in the hot garage trying to like prep things for tomorrow. So I had to
Yeah.
go over this afternoon and help him move things around. And I was like, okay, tell me what needs to be done out here so you can go back in the house. Because at least if you're in the house and it's cool, there's places to sit, like you could do what you need to do in there. But I'm like, Tell me what you gotta do. And thank God I did because I was moving. Like I help him clean off, like wire racks full of stuff, wheel them outside, move generators out of the way. And I'm like, oh gosh, he would have been out here with a weak heart moving generators in the heat. So I was like, no, let me do this for you.
From that generation, man, they're insane sometimes with the things they'll do, and you're sitting there yelling at them like, "Would you stop? Just,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to stop. We can't all go to the hospital at the same time. Somebody has to choose who's gonna get hurt. And if you're out here doing things you know you're not supposed to do, I'm willing to bet you're gonna be the one to get hurt, and it takes away my time
Yeah.
for vacationing in the hospital. Well, rude and selfish of you, sir."
I mean, if it were me, honestly, I would have just postponed the move. I'd have been like, listen, people, you gotta book it next week or something. I'd have been like, you gotta move some things around because I doubt the moving people want to do it. Why do they want to move when it's 100 degrees? If they
I
have
hate
to move,
moving
because
in
I get they
general.
want to get paid, I bet you that they have other jobs they would rather do that maybe would be like a little bit easier. I don't know. Not me. I'm not moving, so I don't really care that much. But
I hate moving. It is a nightmare for me personally. The last time I had to move, it was like I would rather have to have my jaw wired shut. It's that, like, there's no question about it. I would rather have to wire my jaw shut for 6 months to a year before I have to move my house again. Like, my plan when I have to move, um, yeah, I'm just leaving everything and just taking what I absolutely have to have with me, and
I just
I'll come back and get it as I need it because I'm not doing that again. That's a nightmare. No,
I just want
no.
the money to pay the movers to move it all. With right, if you pay them money, they pack your stuff for you.
I have
I'll pack up, like I'm going to pack up my computer stuff. Like there's certain things, yes, I'm going to pack because they're important to me. I'm going to make sure they don't get broken. All the other stuff I have, put it in a box, move it. I'll pay. Just tell me how much it costs. I'll do it. That's what I would need.
actually have some friends of mine who opened a moving business, and I gotta tell you, I still, even with them offering to do my next move, the idea is just no. I'd rather no. Light a match, bro. Let it burn. Let it burn. I don't want to do it again. That was a, because even if you hire movers, you still have to at least give them ideas and like how you want things packed together or not together. And then you're still gonna have to like possibly stuff a box or two. Like I don't,
Okay.
when I say I don't want to, I genuinely mean like I don't want to pack up the stuff from my bathroom to move it. And that's the smallest room in anybody's house with the least amount of crap you actually have to move. I don't want to do it.
See, my
No.
ultimate dream in life is I want to be so rich and I need a guy because I don't want to deal with anything. So, right?
That's right.
Because,
Yeah.
yes, the faucet's going to drip. I'm going to call the guy. The guy, he's not going to fix it. He's going to call the plumber, but the point is he's going to deal with it. So, like, I'm going to move. I'm going to call the guy. I'm going to be like, listen, guy, you need to move this stuff. And then I'll follow him around and I'll tell him what I want. And then he can make it happen. Like, I'm not going to do it myself, but I'll just be like, okay, here's do this, do that, don't do this. And then, like, Sharksman said the worst is unpacking. Well, gotta have a guy. He'll unpack.
See,
That's
I
that's why I
can
need
live in
enough
boxes.
money. I need enough money.
I
So this
can
way
live
it's
in
somebody
boxes.
else's problem.
I can live out of boxes from moving. That doesn't bother me as much because I have the motivation to unpack what I absolutely need.
Yeah.
And when I tell you I can leave a box packed for like a year after I move in, that's not an exaggeration. When Dreadpool and I moved into our house, um, I had some stuff out of the way. I just put it in a closet to get it out of my way until I had time and motivation to go through it and put it away. And I had like two boxes full of t-shirts, just t-shirts. I'm not even going to get into it other than Dreadpool has a problem. He does it by, well, he does buy some frivolous things, but he has an issue. He's addicted to collecting t-shirts
Okay.
and he refuses to get rid of shirts. It's been a source of arguments our entire relationship, honestly. I had to throw away a shirt from high school. That man can't fit into this shirt from high school. He weighs at least 100 pounds more now than he did back then, but do you think he wanted to get rid of it? What if we need it? For what? To cover your hand? Because that's all it's going to cover. And let's be honest, it wasn't something anybody's going to wear ever again anyway. It's exactly from the time period in which it was purchased, and it has been stuck there ever since. It was a polyester button down shirt with flames on it. Everyone remembers those shirts.
So, you know what's funny? So last weekend, I went and took the last of my stuff from my parents' house. I didn't have much. It was mainly like I had stuffed animals. I had, a garbage bag. I had my little caboodle, the makeup and stuff. I took a t-shirt. There's no way it fits me. It probably didn't fit me then. It's got Gizmo on it from Gremlins.
Oh,
And then
that's
I
funny.
and then I puff painted my name across the top.
That's too
Yeah,
funny. That's
so
cool though. That's neat to have though. Oh, I didn't even
so I
finish the
took my
story.
Gremlins t-shirt.
I got myself sidetracked complaining about a high school shirt.
Oh
And finished.
yes.
So the whole reason I started this was because I stuffed a couple of boxes full of shirts into a closet to get to them later because I knew I was going to have an argument. I lost, or I should say I lost, I forgot about those boxes for probably almost 2 years. And I went to go put something in that space because I went, oh, I need to put this away. And I know exactly where I'm going to put it. And I went to go put it in there and I went, why do I have boxes here? What's in these boxes? As soon as I opened them up, I went, I'll close them back up and shoved them in there for another like couple of months before I even looked at them again. So yeah, I can leave things packed. That's not a problem. Not a problem.
Well,
I'm not.
you leave his t-shirts packed, but don't you want your stuff unpacked?
Yeah, no. It depends on whether or not I need it. I'm so used to it. Like, I guess I'm kind of used to it because I dig through boxes for September for the most part to do my haunted trails. So having to go and deal with boxes for like a month at a time, not the worst problem. Clothes. I can't stand my clothes not being put away. That's about it. Because that's just obnoxious trying to dig through boxes. It's like digging through laundry baskets. You can do it for so long before it just gets to you and you have to do something with it. You can't just continue dumping out the laundry basket every time you need a shirt.
Yeah.
Or can you? What? I see my name. What did I do? I didn't do it. Oh, okay. We're going to say hi to people. Let's say hi to people. I should let you do it because I feel like you know who these people are more than I do. I'm good with people. I know who they are. Screen names. We
Okay,
can do
Sir
screen
X Man.
names.
We all know Sir X
Oh
Man.
yeah, obviously.
He beat Perry here. Perry's obviously here. Uh, hockey fan who apparently took a break from hanging out at the Golden Banana to stop by and hang out with us. So hello.
Hey, man. I love
Uh,
hockey.
Frank, Jeff, RWK's here.
Uh-huh.
And apparently everybody's had stuff broken by movers. That's what I'm getting out of this. Everybody has stuff broken for the movers. See, but this is why I need a guy though, because there's tons of stuff I could just get rid of. And if I had enough money, I'm going to buy new stuff, let's be real. But I want to sit here and I just want to tell somebody throw that away, pack that, pack that. I don't want to do it myself, but I'll just tell you if I want it or I don't want it. This is why I need to win tons of money. It's not happening, but gotta dream big here, right? People dream about traveling the world and curing cancer. I dream about living in a compound to isolate myself from everyone else and having a guy to do everything for me so I can be lazy. That's my dream.
I'd like to be able to do some things without repercussions. That's my dream in life. I want enough money to not worry about the repercussions for
I was
my
gonna say,
actions.
yeah, with
If I get
enough
enough
money,
money.
With enough money, there are no repercussions.
Like a friend of mine used to say when we were younger, with any amount of money, just about anything can be legal for the right
Yep.
price. I mean, I would never say something like that. Never. Uh, See, even Perry agrees with me. If I win the lotto, if he hits the lotto, we are buying a big ass house and leaving everything in the house and coming back here if we need it. See, that's the way to go. I'm telling you. If you have the option, leave everything in the house and just grab what you need as you go. And I'm talking like a car full, if that. Like maybe the back seat with some junk
So,
in it.
okay, so I have a bunch of crafting stuff. I want to bring my crafting stuff with me.
Hmm.
I need like
I'm not
one
moving that far.
I need one suitcase to put like clothes and stuff.
Hmm.
I probably don't, let's be real, I don't even need a suitcase full. But right, so I'll need like one suitcase. I need my crafting stuff, my computer stuff. That's about it. Everything else I'll buy new.
Like, see, I envision having to move into a house down the road for a few things. It's actually kind of a plan if something happens, um, take care of a family member. And then it is 10 minutes down the road. So yeah, I'm literally only bringing clothes that I'm wearing like
Yeah.
that, like pajamas for that night and maybe something to change into the following morning. Otherwise, I'm coming by the house to grab what I need and bringing it back with me. I'm not even taking all my makeup at one time. I'm gonna come back and grab what I need as I go. Cause I don't wear makeup. I mean, I wear makeup, but I don't wear it as often as you would think. So I'm not. That is heavy and it's a lot. I'm not carrying it around for no reason. I have an issue collecting brushes. I like to collect makeup brushes, and I know it's crazy, but it's because I don't like washing my makeup brushes. I feel like that takes too long, so I just buy new ones. Terrible habit. Terrible, terrible habit. I'm sure I'll work on it
So
someday.
so you know how like people want to make you feel bad because like you used a straw, you used a plastic fork, like you killed the planet. I don't care if you use a new makeup brush every single day.
Mhm.
That doesn't compare to manufacturing waste. So have at it.
I
That's
have
what I
thought
say. Have
I
at
have
it.
thoughts and feelings on that. I have actually gotten into arguments with people about that because they're like, you need to recycle more and you should do more for the environment. Hold up. I'm going to stop you right there. I lived in Detroit at one point in time. Do not talk to me, of all people. Listen, you can't go to anybody that's lived in Michigan and be like, you need to recycle and save the environment because we've driven by the plants that are pumping out so much sludge. It smells funny. It's such an odd smell. You never forget it. The three-eyed fish from The Simpsons, yeah, that's a real thing.
From Detroit.
That's a real thing from Detroit, from the
well,
plants. Thank you. Yeah. I
well,
mean,
just yeah, and just think of everything you buy, how much plastic it comes in, and think of how many of those things are manufactured, and they're probably never even sold and just get thrown away. Quite honestly, that doesn't
oh yeah.
compare to you using a makeup brush a day.
Oh yeah, no, actually, as a matter of fact, I could tell you, I know for a fact they waste things. If they don't sell it by a certain time, they absolutely toss it.
It's shredded.
Spirit,
It gets shredded so that way no one else can use it.
sometimes and sometimes not. Like Spirit Halloween is famous for throwing away thousands and
Mhm.
thousands of dollars of product because they didn't sell it. So they just throw it away. Like almost half the store gets tossed in the garbage. It's ridiculous. But me using a straw is the problem with the planet. Sure.
That's the thing. I'm not wasteful just for the sake of being wasteful. And if I use my reusable grocery bags and stuff. That's fine. Like I get it. And if I don't need a bag, I can carry my stuff. When I carry, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm
Yeah.
on board with that. But You know what? When I eat my lunch at work, I use a plastic fork because I really don't feel like having to wash dishes at work. I don't care. I don't feel bad one bit.
Like I said, I mean, I grew up smelling the sewage from the plants. Yeah, you're not gonna make me feel bad about using a plastic straw, especially when I have to use like 6 paper straws in order to finish my drink when it could have just
Yeah.
taken one plastic straw. Where are we wasting more? My 6 paper straws or my one plastic straw? I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't help the environment. I'm just saying that I don't think me personally is making it big enough. I bought into it a long time ago when I was younger, and they were like, the ozone layer. I have since been jaded. I'm just waiting for it to
You
open
notice
up.
though is well, no, because we did fix the problem with the ozone layer, but we didn't fix it individually. Manufacturing fixed it because they stopped manufacturing the items that were destroying the ozone layer, right?
They also stopped
That's
using as much, releasing as much smog and things into the air
exactly.
too. They stopped
That's the
burning
thing.
plastics.
So me and you not using plastic straws is not doing anything. They would have to stop manufacturing them or stop manufacturing other plastic items. Like that's how you solve the problem. You solve the problem on the manufacturing end. But
You
here
know,
or
it's
there, the
just
whole
like,
point of this is don't feel bad. Use your makeup brushes, single use.
yeah.
Who cares?
Oh, it's like I had a conversation with a friend's parent a while back because they have an electric, or they have a hybrid vehicle. It's not a complete electric, but it's half and half or whatever. You should really look into it. I'm okay. I'm okay. I feel like we have an issue with power as it is during certain times of the year. I feel like a vehicle I have to charge in order to, I don't know, leave for an evacuation during a
Dude,
hurricane. Probably not the best idea, not to mention after our last hurricane here, a ton of those got caught fire. They were burning they were burning the neighborhoods that might have only just been drowned, but throw a little fire into the mix. Why not?
dude, at my job, they have the hybrid vehicles, so you don't have to charge it at all. Like it charges when you're using the gas portion of it, I guess. And
Hmm.
it'll just switch between gas and battery depending what you're doing. Let me tell you though, how many miles you get per gallon of those things is absolutely insane. I didn't think it would be, but I can't even tell you how much I've driven around. I'm like, I've used a quarter tank of gas, and like I should have used three quarters of a tank, a full tank.
Hmm.
It's amazing. But yeah, you don't plug it in at all. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
That's neat. I mean, I can see that, but
Yeah,
my car is good on gas anyway, so it's
yeah,
like, doesn't really, it's not beneficial for me personally. I'm
yeah.
sure for other people it's probably very beneficial for them. For me, not so much. I mean, between my car getting good mileage as it is and handling beautifully, and the fact that I live somewhere where it floods with
Hmm. Yeah.
salt water and car
Yes, it's a
batteries
big concern.
do not mix.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to my gas baby. I like my Betty. She's beautiful. I'm sorry, actually, her name's Becky. I named her Becky a while back. I name all my cars.
See,
It's a thing. My daughter's made fun of me for it. Her and her friend have talked about it. I guess her friend's mom names her cars too, and they were discussing the names and how weird they are. It's like, it just makes it easier when I'm yelling at her for something.
see,
Everybody, I don't know who doesn't talk to their car.
this is also why I need to win tons of money because then I don't even need a car because someone's going to drive me around. I don't care. They'll have to have a car though with a big back seat so I can be comfortable. I don't want my knees to be squished. I gotta be comfy back there. But I won't care what they drive. I don't care how few miles they get per gallon. Won't be my problem.
Ah, see,
Big
Perry, you're right
dreams.
about that. Apple, actually, I can't stand Apple for a number of reasons. And my biggest beef with Apple, aside from the fact that they took way too long to update some of the ways that their products do things, um, specifically their updates. But I find it ironic that they brick their devices after so long, And they don't even give people warnings before they do it. They're just like, I hope you paid attention to the last update because there was a very small sentence at the very bottom of the last update that said, warning, the next update will break, it's going to be obsolete. Good luck. Yeah, they like to do that sort of thing. They're really good at that.
Well, I'm glad that they finally, and this is only because Europe made them do it, because no other country was, I know Europe as a whole made them do it because they have different laws than we do. But now everyone's going to USB-C. Like, I'm glad because we don't need 10 different chargers. Let me use the same charger for everything. We're all
Well,
the same
Apple,
now, which is good.
well, Apple was supposed to do that like 5 phones ago. They actually had a thing, and there was I, I could be wrong, but I believe they released a statement at one point in time, talking like 6 or 7 years ago or something, that was like, we're switching to this port. It's the same that Samsung uses. We're switching all of our devices over to this, and this is what it's going to be for now on. And Samsung was like, yeah, we're sticking to this one. We're not switching anymore. So get used to this one. All our devices. And Samsung stuck to that. They have since then, it's the same thing every time. Apple, however, went, no,
Well, they
no.
started. Well, they started now. They finally did start though, but they didn't do it because they wanted to. They did it because Europe
Hmm.
said, "Okay, if you want to sell phones in Europe, this is you have to be USB-C. This is what it is. You have to have a common charging port." And they were fighting it to not have to do it. So they finally, I guess, realized they couldn't fight it, and they had no choice, and that's why they did it.
Hmm.
Yeah, not because they wanted to.
I mean, I'm sorry you've had issues with your Samsung. I've had more issues with Apple. That's why I switched to Samsung ages ago, and I haven't switched back. My Samsung devices, I always have their phones, and I do have a tablet. I haven't had any issues with them bricking or slowly running or running slower after updates. I've had issues where an update's just janky, and I have to wait for another update to fix the jank. But I've had Apple phones completely brick on me with an update, and then when I go to them, they're like, "Oh yeah, if you can delete the last update, it'll work." But there's always a but in there. It's not going to do this. It's not going to do that. Thank you, but no thanks. No, thank you. And like I said, it took them, in my opinion, it took Apple way too long to do their updates directly to their phones.
Mhm.
This is how long ago I switched. You still had to plug your phone into the computer to get the update.
iTunes.
So
Yeah.
I've had more than enough with them. I'm done. Not to mention the way they run their insurance. Like, if you get it wet, your insurance doesn't cover it. If it gets stolen, your insurance doesn't cover it. If you drop it without a case, your insurance isn't covering it. Did you have a screen cover on it? No. Well, the insurance isn't covering it. And if your insurance does cover it, it's still like a $500 deductible. Why am I paying insurance for this? This is
Yeah.
stupid. Samsung, they're like, oh, you dropped it off a building with no cover, no case, no nothing into a vat of water. It's cool. We'll pay for it. Just $50, $100. You're good to go.
Yeah.
I'll take the
My
Samsung, but
Samsung for the past 2 months has been, like, going slow, overheating. I'm like, "What is going on?" I realized yesterday I'm I thought I had it on to automatically download the updates. Apparently I didn't because it hasn't updated since December.
mhm.
So yesterday morning, I had to do, like, 6 updates on the phone. So it, like, has a new operating system and everything now. So I'm like, "Okay, hopefully this fixes my problems now that I'm up to date." Because I was like, all of these apps have been updating to
Mhm.
go like I said, their whole new UI. So now they've all updated to work with it, but I didn't have it, which is probably why things were not working properly. So, yeah. I
Probably.
have no clue what I did. I don't know how I turned that off, but whatever.
Too funny. This is too
So Sir
funny.
X-Men asked us, he said, if we went to go live in a camper and we could only bring 2 things with us, what would we bring? So I'll tell you, if I have to go live in a camper, I'm bringing cyanide because that ain't gonna happen. Like, I can't live in a camper. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I'm gonna bring my cell phone. I don't know what else I'm gonna bring. Perry.
Mm, ah, two
I don't
things.
know.
It's difficult.
I mean, Perry's not a thing. He's a person, so I'm assuming he's a freebie. He just gets to come with me. So other than my cell phone, I don't know. Because living in a camper just sounds miserable. And we actually, I don't know why, we watch a lot of YouTube videos of people who live in campers and live in their cars. It really just all looks miserable. And like
Yeah,
you can't own anything because everything does double duty. Like this one lady, like she wants to take a shower. But so she has to move like the bench. The top of the bench isn't really a bench. You have to move all these things out of the way in order to take a shower. And like, oh, you're gonna have like this. Oh, we're gonna have people over. Why are you having people over in a camper? I don't know. But then you gotta like rearrange your whole bed area to become a seating area. And like, oh, I want to cook dinner. Okay, let me undo these 10 bungees so that I can get the pots out of the pan. That's like, I gotta kneel on the floor to pull it out of somewhere. I That's not for me. Nope, nope, nope.
I yeah, I'm right there with you. It would be an uncomfortable thing for a long period of time
Yeah.
if I were doing it for just a vacation or to get from point A to point B, that'd be one thing. I think living in one would be difficult only because I don't even like living in apartments. Like, I feel like I had an apartment years ago, and I feel like if I tried to live in an apartment today, I'd have a hard time just because there's so many things you have to worry about when you're living in something where noise travels like that, I guess is the best way to put it. Like your footsteps, yelling, even talking, you can hear various places.
Yeah.
Would it be fun in the long run? No, not at all. Could I do it for a while? Sure, why not? Two things I would have to take. I mean, phone would definitely be one because, yeah, I can live without just about everything else but a phone. And then I feel like the second one would have to be deodorant. You're living
Good
in a
point.
small space like that.
Good
I'm gonna
point.
need a lot of deodorant. There's a lot of things I can live without, but
Ah.
deodorant's no, not one of those things. I'm so weird about it. I get itchy if I feel like I'm not wearing enough deodorant. I'm like, why am I? Oh, I need to go put some more deodorant on. So yeah, deodorant, my phone. Those would be the two things I have to have in an RV. That's just
See, that doesn't even sound like a vacation to me. I'd rather stay home.
me.
Like, why? I don't know. That doesn't sound like I said. It doesn't sound like a fun vacation. I'm not built for the outdoors, for the woods, for any of that stuff. I need yeah. There's people who go on vacations and they do like Civil War reenactments. So they like live like it's back then. Why? We have technology. Why would you give all of that up? We have comfort. Why like let me go out in the middle of the woods in a wool suit to play war. Like what? Why? How is I don't understand how that's fun. I mean, it is because there's enough people that they do it. Obviously enough people are finding this entertaining. I'd
Yeah.
have heat stroke. I would die in the battlefield from heat stroke.
See, I don't I don't remember how they do it up north, but I know down here when they do the Civil War reenactments and things, they try to wait till it's a little cooler out. It's not 100 degrees outside in the shade. I don't know how they wear the wool
Yeah.
uniforms because that is very heavy. As someone who's made those outfits, and obviously with anything that I've made, I put it on for various reasons, usually to make sure it lays right and whatnot. Um, Wool, yeah, those things are nightmares. Those things are just itchy. They are uncomfortable. They are hot. I mean, so how they're wearing them, I don't know. Now the gowns, I can understand how they're wearing the gowns. I'm not even gonna lie. The gowns is a lot better. It's a little more breathable because those are cotton usually. and you've got all that space underneath the skirt where you've just got it open with airflow, so
Yeah,
you
but
can
don't you have
kind
like
of,
a bunch of layers underneath it? Isn't they big and poofy and heavy?
if you feel like it. I mean, no one's checking under your skirt really. So, I mean, but then again, too, bloomers, believe it or not, are actually really comfortable. They are super comfortable. I own several. I have to make new ones that I can actually fit into now, but I used to wear them all the time when I would dance and stuff because they're better than shorts because they're longer and they're cute. They look adorable, especially when you hike up your skirt to, show somebody and they're like, "Oh my gosh." But I like them. So the gowns I could do. I have worn the gowns out for the reenactments. I would never wear. But then again, I'm a woman, so if we're going to be accurate, I shouldn't be in one of those anyway, so.
Treadpool said they have fans under there. That would make it bearable. You could wear the heaviest dress ever, get a little airflow going.
Well, you get fans too. You can fan yourself all day. I mean, like I said, it's easier to get a little more comfortable. It's essentially along the same lines of women wearing burqas outside when it's really hot. I mean, you got to think a lot of them in, uh, I can't think of all the different places.
Middle East.
Yeah, there you go. Middle East. Think of those places. Those are really hot. They are living in the middle of the desert and they're wearing head to toe, usually in black or dark colored
Yeah.
cloth. When you're covered like that, it's actually cooler. Believe it or not. It's
It is because you don't have the
ridiculous.
sun beat down your skin. That's how you see people who work construction. They're wearing long sleeves because you don't want to get burnt, but it ends up being cooler, even though you've got that layer on that you're not, yeah, don't have the sun just beating down on you.
Yeah. Who they call sundresses? They used to call him sundresses. Oh, a woman that wears sundresses. It's Eric's man. I believe most women enjoy wearing sundresses. They're comfortable. But I don't know who we're calling him sundresses. I'm down for it.
Probably meant them.
Mm, bikinis in the snow. You would, Dreadpool. That would be interesting. I'm not anywhere near snow, so I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, so
So,
I'm already dreading this week. I am. Ugh.
big plans, eh?
Well, just with the heat, I'm just gonna melt. I'm just gonna shrivel up and melt. You know how like when they have like TV shows where it's just like a recliner and a pair of feet and ankles, and the person spontaneously combusted, so there's nothing else left. That's gonna
Mhm.
be me. That's gonna be me the next 2 days. I'm just gonna be gone. Pile of ash where I used to be.
Aw, you poor thing. I've got, well, I wouldn't say busy, but I imagine the next few months for me are going to be interesting and slightly busy. So I don't think I'm going to have time to worry about combusting, spontaneously combusting. I'm going to have a lot of things to plan, a lot of things to do. The reason I was late, well, the reason we were late for the show
Yes.
tonight, I can announce it because it's already happened. It doesn't matter anyway, she wouldn't know. Um, my sister, one of my sisters, got engaged tonight.
Yay!
um, her boyfriend, now fiance, had asked me a few weeks ago if I would help him plan a nice engagement for her, a nice proposal. So I went ahead and did what I do best and planned it, helped him out. So we went and did that earlier tonight. It's their anniversary. He wanted to do it on their anniversary. So we went over to the beach and he proposed on the beach. We set up a nice little shindig. I brought candles out and sparkling grape juice because he's driving. I'm not giving him alcohol with my sister in the car. I'm not that kind of crazy. I'm not fun like that. Um, Strawberries and raspberries, her favorite. Got her some nice flowers and a balloon, and at sundown, he got down and asked the question. She said yes. So I will be planning an engagement party. and then a bridal shower, and then a bachelorette party, and then finally the wedding.
That's
I was,
exciting to know. And I know you said last week when I asked, you said you like the guy, so you're happy that it's him, at least. Well, I
mhm.
guess if you weren't, if the guy was a huge jerk, you probably wouldn't have helped him. You would have been
Oh,
like,
he
you're a
wouldn't have
girl
gotten my
buddy. So,
blessings. Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, he had to ask me for permission to even think about
Yeah.
proposing. I'm that person. Yeah, no. My siblings that are married, I their spouses have had to come to me and talk to me because yeah, if Big Sis says no, when death says no, you don't question things. You don't generally go, against death because there's one thing in life that's inevitable, death. So they do their best to make me happy. So yeah, her fiance actually asked mine and Dreadpool's permission to propose. So we do like him. We gave it, which is why we helped set up the engagement. Well, the proposal, I should say.
That's
Yeah, and
exciting.
Deadpool did to take photos and video of it. So it'll be exciting. Another beach wedding for the family. Sir Exhibit, not everybody. Hey, I used to say, and I still believe it, not everyone has to get married, just like not everybody needs to have kids. There are some people in this life that are not meant to get married or have kids. They need to all be fine with that. Like, I used to say, if I never got married and have kids, it'd be fine. I'm still going to be a person, still be a whole ass person. You're not only a
I
half
think
person just because you don't have those things.
I think the key is you have to talk to each other because how many times do you see that one person is mad because they're like, we've been together 10 years and they won't propose?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
and
like maybe you should have talked about this before the 10-year mark because if the other person doesn't want to get married and you do, well, then you're not compatible and don't date each other, right? You either both want to get married or you both don't want to. You can't mix and match here. You got to talk to each other to say, no, I'm cool with it. That's fine.
oh yeah, no, we've talked about this before. I mean, I feel like there's listen, you can be together and never get married for 50 years and be perfectly happy. I've known people that were together for almost 20 years and then they got married in less than a year into them being married after 20 years of just being
Mm,
together. They're filing for divorce and can't stand each other all of a sudden. Not everybody has to do everything just because society deems it a normal thing. I mean, do you have like your parents used to say, just because your dumbass friend jumps off a bridge, are you doing it? Not everybody has to do the same thing
mm.
over and over and over again. Some people aren't meant to do things. And quite
I
frankly,
said
Sir
that was
X-Men, being married for over 20 years and getting divorced, yeah, I wouldn't really be jumping in to get married again either if I were you. That just makes sense to me. Yeah, Dripple, I remember your ex being thrilled that you got engaged to somebody else. Yeah, he was such a man. She messaged him after we got engaged and was like, it's so wonderful that after all this time you finally found someone to settle down with and get married to.
yeah, she's just bitter it wasn't her.
Right? And I was like, gee, thanks. I just found someone to finally settle down with. And Dripple was all like, you're being mean about it. I'm like, no, she was being a bitch first. You just
Yes.
can't, you're not reading between the lines. That's not a genuine, I'm so thrilled for you. I'm super excited. That's a, must be nice. I was just a placeholder until something better came along. I'm sorry about your luck. But in case you didn't realize, you weren't in the running anyway, sweetheart. I don't know why you're upset about it now. But I'm petty. She's a weird chick. Any instance I've had, she tries to be nice, and I'm nice to her. She's nice. She's always made things very awkward, and I'm not sure if it's just. I've been told she's weird and awkward in general, but every interaction with her is just
Is she like part of like your larger friend group? Why are you still friends with his ex? Especially if she's so petty.
Because she's part of a larger friend group,
Okay.
not to mention, and a lot of times it's just we just happen to run into her while we're out. It's not like we're setting up to go. Although there was the one time. Now, this tell you, this is a perfect example of her weirdness, awkwardness. I had thrown Dreadpool a party. It was a surprise party for one of his birthdays. And I literally just told anybody that knew him, hey, listen, if you know him and you're friends with him, they're allowed to come. They're invited. I don't care who it is. If they know him and they like him, invite him. It doesn't matter. I was just trying to get bodies in the seats. It was we hadn't been dating that long, so I didn't know his whole friend group yet. So I'm just like, I don't know everybody. So if you know them and you know they're, just bring them.
Yep.
And somebody invited her, which is fine. I genuinely don't care about ex-girlfriends, never have. And I told him that. And when someone asked me, hey, is it okay if we invite her? I said, that's fine. They're exes. I don't care. I'm not worried about it. Bring her. She's a friend. Why not? They're all still in the same friend group. Bring her. She introduced herself to me and went, I don't think you meant to invite me. And I'm like, I genuinely don't even know who you are, sweetheart, so I couldn't tell you one way or another, but I can tell you right now, I didn't tell anybody they weren't invited, so yeah, no, you're fine. She goes, no, I really don't think I'm supposed to be invited. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure nobody was on the do not invite list, so you're fine. No, I'm his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, and I'm his current girlfriend, what's your point? Nice to meet you. She goes, yeah, well, aside from that, I don't think I should be here. And I'm like, we've already discussed this, but go on. We'll bring it up again. I will entertain this one more time. Why don't you think you should be here, sweetheart? It feels perfectly fine. We're okay. She goes, no, my aunt died today and I had to go to the funeral. And I was like, well, I'm so glad we're having so much fun with this conversation. This has been amazing. Not even close to awkward or weird at all. I appreciate you coming. I'm going to fuck off in that direction now. In any direction away from you. I told another friend of mine, I said, listen, if you even think she's looking at me like she wants to talk, come get me for an emergency. I don't care what it is. I don't want to get stuck talking to her again. I said, not mean, just weird. Unnecessary, uncalled for, maybe. Just a little bit. A root canal would probably have gone smoother.
I shouldn't be here, but I came here anyways. But I really shouldn't be here. I don't think you meant to invite me. I really shouldn't be here. But that's why I showed up.
I'm gonna go out of my way to now introduce myself to the person I don't think, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
didn't even.
Because it's playing games, that's why.
Yeah, no, she was trying to get a reaction. She didn't get one, so she kept trying and just wasn't working. So it was like, anybody need me? Is there a toilet clogged? Do I need to
Yeah.
come clear a toilet? Like, you need me to fix the sink or something? Anything! Anything! Yeah. So now, since then, all my friends know that if she's around, I'm needed for an emergency. It doesn't
Yeah.
truly doesn't matter what it is. It's fine. It's
Has she
fine.
gotten him over him yet? Or she's still like weird and petty?
Um, she's dated people since then, so I'm
Okay.
assuming I thought she'd gotten over him to begin with. So I mean, he is an unforgettable guy, though, so I can see why she has a hard time. But like I said, I'm not insecure.
Yeah.
Good luck and have fun with that conversation, sweetheart. Because he's gonna be looking at you like you're just crazy. But we all have our. I guess we all have that one ex in our lives. We cringe when we see him coming.
So our thumbnail tonight was us as sharks because it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Jaws. I've seen parts of it. But
Really?
before I came down, Perry goes, "Have you seen it?" I was like, "Yeah, I really don't think I have." Like I said, I saw like as a kid, I
Oh
saw
wait,
bits
wait,
and
wait. No, this
pieces,
needs to be
but
full screen for that. Say that again. You've never what?
I've never seen Jaws. I know I've seen bits and pieces of it, never saw the whole movie. So before I came downstairs, I watched Perry. There's a YouTube video. It's Jaws in 3 minutes. So it's the entire movie condensed to 3 minutes, and I watched that. So I know what happens now because I watched the 3 minute version. I know how many
That's not how
classic
that
movies are
works.
there that I've never seen. Add this one to the list.
It's Jaws, though. I mean, it's not even that long of a movie. You can fast forward through a lot of it, and it's fine. How have you not seen it? It's like a systematic masterpiece.
I don't know.
I'm
Like I
slightly
said, there's just
disappointed.
tons of movies I'm like the one person in the world who's never seen it. I don't really know. Yeah, 50 years I haven't seen Jaws.
You have two steel books with 4K.
Yep, never watched it.
I'm so disappointed. We need to have Pink Pickles make her watch a whole bunch of different horror movies tonight. I'm gonna make her watch a bunch of old movies, including the black and white ones. Vincent
Yeah,
Price with
there's
a dog.
Perry doesn't even ask me anymore if I've seen movies because he just knows the answer's no.
I can imagine not. I
Like
mean, it's really not that.
he
I
asked
can't
me if I
imagine.
saw Jaws, but before I even answered him, he was already looking it up on YouTube to show me the 3 minute version of it. So he already knew what I was gonna say.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, that's too funny. 1995 film. Man, no, we're gonna have to make her watch a few different things. But
I'm
I
telling
feel
you, I
like you
didn't
need to watch a few Vincent Price movies because there's a couple that I think you would really
I've
like.
I've actually seen quite a few Vincent Price movies. We watched them when I was younger. I would like to rewatch it though. I love Vincent Price. He's amazing. He
Oh,
really
he's
is
the
the master of
best.
horror. You're right. I haven't seen Friday. Any of the Fridays, next Friday, none of
What
that.
about Half Baked? That movie's hysterical.
Nope.
Really?
Never
Not
saw it.
even Half Baked? Oh, you're missing it. Friday's
Anaconda, nope.
hilarious. I can't believe you haven't watched
Okay,
Anaconda.
so tell me all these classic movies that you think everyone should see in their life. What are they? Anyone in the chat? Anyone? What are like the must see movies in this world?
House on Haunted Hill with Vincent
Nope.
Price.
Well, I mean, maybe
Red
because I can't tell you which
Masquerade.
ones. That one I know I saw.
That's a good one. Um, Nosferatu.
I don't think so.
That one. Um, let me see. I'm trying to think. Last Man on Earth.
Nope. I don't think The Postman is a must see movie, which I've never seen. Dazed and
No.
Confused, no.
Jerky Boys
Exorcist,
is not something you have to see either. But Batman Forever you should see. And Powder, definitely. That's a
we
really
okay.
good
Oh
movie.
yeah, we watched Jerky Boys, Batman Forever, Powder. Now Batman Forever. I saw previously. Jerky Boys and Powder. I watched with Perry.
Dazed and Confused.
Postman, no. Dazed and Confused, no. Exorcist, yes. Coneheads, yes. Watership Down, never even heard of it. Carrie, yes. Poltergeist, maybe. I don't I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe.
Even more cone. Power Rangers, the movie. That's funny.
He
That does
loves
need
Power
to
Rangers,
surprise
so I've
me.
watched it with Perry. Like
That,
E.T., I didn't see E.T. until I met Perry. So I saw E.T. 17 years ago. And then I almost
oh,
cried, and I was like, how did that, like, I would have died as a little kid. I would have just been a puddle.
oh yeah, the
Dead
movie is.
Ringers, never heard of it. I watched The Land Before Time when I was in college. That came out, what, in the 80s?
Okay, I'm gonna have to find
20,
my black
28
and white
Days.
silent movie collection.
28
Goodness
Days, I've never
gracious.
seen it. Poseidon Adventure, never even heard of it.
No, 28 days? Oh, you
Killer
have to
Clowns
watch
from
it.
Outer Space, we watched like a month or so ago. I love that movie, and I absolutely love If you didn't see it, I'm going to spoil this. It's from the 70s, so sucks for you that you don't watch it. In the very beginning, when they first meet that old guy, they make the balloon animal dog, and the balloon animal dog is sniffing people out. I think that's great. There's so many little details in there, like to just really amp up the clowns. I love it so much.
Oh, what about the
Okay,
90s Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston and her original
okay.
nose?
How 90s is this? Do you remember they used to have those giant like conversion vans? So there were like the two captain seats with a table in the middle, and there was the VCR in the back. My cousins had one, and we watched Leprechaun on the way to some baseball thing. So did I watch the whole movie? I don't really know, but we watched it in this giant 90s van. Casablanca? No.
Leprechaun in the Hood. That movie's funny.
Nope.
That movie's great.
Was Killer Clowns really from the 80s?
Hmm.
Whatever. You had 40 years to watch it. If I ruined it by telling you that the balloon dog is sniffing it out, I don't know what to tell you. Blob? No. I do know who Steve McQueen is.
It's Killer Clowns is from 1988.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna have to get you a list, but I'm gonna have to find that.
If
I
yeah,
have a
if you
collection of movies that are they're all black and white or silent, and it's all the classics.
if you made a list of here's the movies that I think everyone needs to see, old, new, in between, anything. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, no. Chucky, no. Um, I bet you like three quarters of them I've never seen.
Doesn't surprise me. Okay, okay. This one's not that old. How about Interview with the Vampire?
Nope. That's with
I think
Tom
it's
Cruise, right?
good.
Nope.
Yeah, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
I remember
Looking
when it came out,
good,
never saw it.
really. I can't get myself to
What?
watch the TV show. I don't know why. It has got nothing to do with the actors. I don't know. I just can't bring
Invasion of the
myself to
Body
watch.
Snatchers, no. Mrs. Robinson? I don't think so, unless I don't know. Perry would know if we watched it. I don't really remember. Is Mrs. Robinson? No, I don't think so. No, because I'm thinking of some movie with
Hey, Axel.
who's the I can't think of his name. Who's the funny guy that we all love? Robin Williams, and he was like a college professor, but that wasn't Mrs. Robinson. So no.
No, you're thinking of Dead Poet Society, I think.
Okay, so I think I watched that because I think I bought it the tape from the like secondhand shop when I was in college. So I don't think I ever saw Mrs.
Captain, my
Robinson.
captain. Captain, my captain. Hmm.
You're saying Tom Cruise is not credited in Interview with a Vampire?
What? No, that can't be right.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, but that's the one that's always on at Christmas time, right? It's black and
Yeah.
white with the snow. I mean, I know
You
what it is,
know,
but I never watched it.
you know why it's always on TV for Christmas? Because there's no copyright on it anymore. It
Huh.
ran out ages ago, so they're allowed to play it without. That's when that movie came out, it actually did horribly bad. The reviews were garbage for it.
Oh,
And it was quite a while, it was a couple of years after it had come out when they had messed up the copyright on it and the claim, and it became free domain. And one of the TV stations didn't have a budget for Christmas movies and they needed something to fill the time slot, so they picked It's a Wonderful Life, and
now
boom,
it's a
it actually
classic.
took off. Yeah, because it was the only thing on TV, and all of a sudden it became this big thing. It's kind of like Night of the Living Dead. The copyright wasn't filed properly. That movie has been free domain since it was released. That's why it's always on TV in horror movies when characters are watching movies. They watch that one a lot because
Huh.
it's free domain.
Yeah, Perry said I watch Abbott Costello. March of the Wooden Soldiers is amazing movie. I love that movie so much. Falling Down, I only saw because of Perry.
Never heard of that one.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Oh, you've watched About and Christelle? That's good. At least you've seen them. They're funny. I like their movies. Meet the Wolfman. What is it? About Christelle, Meet the Wolfman, Dracula. Oh my gosh. Those movies are good.
The movie Stuff with the marshmallow type thing people are eating. Are you saying the movie is named Stuff?
I don't think I
And
know what movie you're talking about. I just can't think of what it is.
when we were talking, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago about Tony Todd, I've never seen the Candy Man.
Oh, you still need to watch that. That's a really, really good movie. Really good movie. I feel that the remake did not do the original. See, when people talk about the remake, the latest Candyman, their biggest problem with it is oh, it's so political, it's this, it's that, and I'm like, but if you watch the original, it's very much political and it very much has social commentary. And I think the difference is there was more to the story and it was balanced better, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the first one does really good. Is it called
Dreadpool
The Stuff? I'll have to.
Dreadpool said that you've seen Falling Down. That's one with Michael Douglas, and he's over it, and he's not taking shit from anyone.
It's like most of his movies. Hold on, I'm gonna have to. Let me
So it's
see.
fun. What's funny is, so at the end of that, when they're on the boardwalk, Frank and I always laugh because there's this dude in a hot pink speedo,
Yeah,
and we always laugh about that guy in the background. It turns out he was one of the American gladiators.
I do remember the Falling Down. I just pulled it up. I do remember that.
Mhm.
And The Stuff. I've seen that. I remember that one.
I never even heard of the stuff.
Couldn't remember the name of it, but I remember watching it because it was weird. Blue chips. Is that like blue waffle? Just saying.
I don't want to know what blue wall. That's like that's a Urban Dictionary thing that you wish you didn't read, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I figured. I
It's
vaguely
not
heard
a
of
real
it and
thing, but
blocked it
people have
from my
made it
memory.
out. Yeah, it's not a real thing, but people, it's an urban legend. It's a new urban legend. It's blue waffle is not a real thing. Any pictures are uh, enhanced. They're not real. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh.
I'll have to watch the trailer. Okay, so Starkman sent me the trailer for the stuff, and
Mhm.
it's funny because the poster people are like screaming, and they have like marshmallow fluff is pouring out of their mouth and their eye sockets and stuff. This is kind of funny.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, I'll have to watch that later.
Here, let's do the picture. Can you share the picture? Screenshot or something? Let's see.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up here. Um, yeah, GoldenEye. I've never watched GoldenEye. I've never watched any of the
How about Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me?
I have, and um I always reference about making, like a 47 point turn when you're trying to do
Yeah,
something.
baby. That was the first thing I think of. Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Nobody needs to look up space docking. That's a terrible thing. Don't do it. You will regret it in every choice you've made in life. Oh, hold on. There we go. Oh, look at that.
There we go. Yeah, so they got like marshmallow fluff coming out of their mouth and their eye sockets there.
I've seen this. I remember bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, drowning in fluff probably wouldn't be so bad. I mean, if you're gonna die, of all the ways to go, not bad. I'll take it.
Yeah, I've seen this movie. Whoa, look at that.
Marshmallow is one of my favorite foods ever.
Who doesn't? I mean, I guess there are people that don't like marshmallow, but enough people like marshmallow. Who doesn't like marshmallows? So, brings us to the next point. Any interesting news stories this week?
So we watched I don't know. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. I might not sneeze. It's like right in the head, like you feel your nose tingling. Okay. We watched it wasn't the first 48. It was just some generic crime show. I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy who was a college professor, he every day at noon, a an Uber or whatever came to pick him up from his house to bring him to work. Um, never picks him up. So he's a college professor, so he doesn't show up for his classes. His dad can't get a hold of him. The guy's single, so the dad calls the cops and says, "Yeah, it was on A&E." Says, "Hey, can you go do a wellness check? I can't get a hold of him. Something's wrong." So they go, and he's dead in the hallway of his house. Okay. So at first they're thinking, right? They know that somebody broke into the house. They can see that they like pried open the door and everything. So they go, okay, it's a robbery, but nothing was taken. And they've got like his wallet's there. There's cash in the wallet. The guy's like a freaking hoarder. There's stuff all over the place. Nothing was taken. And like, okay, this is really weird. But it turns out the guy, he doesn't even really have friends. He doesn't really know anybody. So like, it seems like the case is just going to go nowhere. They were able to figure out that he made a phone call at 11:25. So they know he was killed between 11:25 and noon. Person across the street has a ring camera. Watch the ring camera. Nothing. You just see cars driving by. You don't see anything. They're going back to the house, and they noticed the guy's got an Xbox. He's got like all these video games. Well, then they noticed, wait a second. Here's some Joy Cons, and here's a case for Mario Odyssey, and there's a cartridge for Zelda, but there was no Switch. So they go, huh? Did the guy steal the Switch? So they subpoenaed Nintendo. Turns out that the Switch was powered on a few days later and connected to somebody's Wi Fi. So they went to that person's house and she said, I don't have a Switch, but 2 days ago, my brother was at my house and he had a Switch and he wanted to borrow my Wi Fi. So he powered the Switch on. So come to find out that these two guys, well, wait, so she says it was my brother, so that her brother's got a car. So the
Mm-hmm.
cops find the car, pull the car over, but the guy driving the car wasn't her brother. They were cousins or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I don't know what's going on. But then they found out, well, wait a second. The brother and this guy have like tons and tons of phone calls right at the time that the murder happened. They were able to get the cell phone records. They were both in the area. Turns out that the two of them basically just go around breaking into people's houses and stealing stuff. This is just what they do. So they then went back to the ring camera and they saw the car drive by the house because it like stopped down the road. The cousin or whoever gets out, goes in the house. He comes running out with the Switch and he's like, something happened, we gotta go. So I guess they were just burglars. They weren't murdering people. They didn't know the guy was home. So he starts to like go through the stuff. The guy comes out of his bedroom, he shoots him, kills him, he panics and runs. But they would have never gotten him if they didn't steal the Switch. And Frank and I were both like, dude, they could have taken cash from the wallet and he could have just bought a Switch. Like, but if you steal a Switch, like you murdered somebody, and then you stole the Switch from the guy's house, why were you dumb enough to connect it to Wi-Fi? Right? Like, what's What's wrong with you? I don't understand. And I don't know why he took the Switch. That's what baffles me. There was an Xbox, there was TVs, there was like, the guy, I don't know if he was Dungeons and Dragons, there were a bunch of tabletop games with figurines. Like I said, there was a wallet, there was cash in the wallet. There was just tons of stuff in this guy's house. Out of all the things, that's all you took.
I mean, usually, as far as my opinion is concerned, most of the time, criminals aren't very good at their job.
I know,
They
which I'm
really
glad they're
shouldn't
not.
even consider it. I mean, the reality is how often than not are they caught by doing the dumbest things? I mean,
Yes.
just absolute stupidity. Hell, let's be realistic. In today's day, it'd be awfully difficult to not be noticed in an area because your cell phone, just the tower it pings off of, gives it away. So yeah, someone stealing what is essentially a computer and then logging into the internet and being surprised that they were tracked down by said device being logged into the internet. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. And the fact that he left everything else in the house and only took a Switch, man, if I'm going through the effort of breaking into somebody's house, I'm taking everything I can carry. I mean, a Switch.
Well,
I think the gaming consoles would probably be the bottom of the list of things I'm going for,
I mean,
unless there's nothing in the house.
you killed the guy. You're already going down. You might as well try to get something out of it. I don't know, but it just, and he probably took the Switch because it was convenient. But there were a lot of other things that were convenient that were not electronics. Don't take electronics. Don't take something. Yeah, Frank's like wants to see the guy's Pokédex.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, I think they did something because they murdered a guy. It wasn't because of the theft. The theft is what allowed them to catch them because they murdered the dude.
Yeah.
Um, and how much does it suck for this guy? I mean, this was a 30-minute window. If they had just broken into his house 30 minutes later, he wouldn't have been home, and then they could have just stole the stuff, and that would have been that. And like they would
Yeah.
have sucked, but at least the guy would have been alive. But and what's funny is at first they did it and so the guy was a college professor. Somebody from the campus called the police and said he overheard a student talking about how they had murdered the professor because everyone hates him and I rate my professor, he has such a bad rating and stuff. So they went through because the campus has tons of cameras everywhere. So then they found the guy who the student says he overheard on the phone, and they questioned that guy. Basically, the guy didn't hear what he thought he heard. The guy, I think he was talking about like, "Hey, did you hear what happened?" He never said, "Oh, I know who did it" or "I did it." It was just, "Did you hear what happened?" So they were able to rule that out quickly. That's why they ended up going back to the house to take a second look, and that's when they noticed all the Switch stuff but no Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Although, did you hear your girl Karen Reed? Her
Yes.
case concluded. She's
So
free.
so the other day at work, Perry sends me a message at 2:55, said tell me that the verdict was in and they're waiting to hear. And I'm so glad he messaged me. So all my employees, they leave at 3, but at 3 o'clock is when they were going live. So I had it up on the phone, and the one guy's like actually trying to talk to him about work. And I was like, listen, we'll talk in the morning. I'm like, I've been watching this trial for 2 months. I'm really invested. I have to hear what the verdict is.
Go away.
I straight up told him, I was like, we could talk in the morning, please. Because he was
That's
just giving me a rundown of like that work he had done that day, and I'm just like, that's nice. I have to watch this.
No one
Um,
cared. Go away.
yeah, I'm so glad though. I think they made the right decision because there was so much reasonable doubt. I personally don't think that she even did it at all. Even if you do think she did it, though, the evidence wasn't there. There was too much reasonable doubt. I think that they did. I think the jury did the job that they should have done, and that's exactly how we want our justice system to work. They heard the evidence. The evidence wasn't there. They convicted her. The only thing that she got convicted on was drunk driving because she admitted to it,
Yeah.
and her blood alcohol in the morning was still really high, which I guess that you can't prove that like she didn't go home and drink, right? But because she admitted to it, they're like, well, we have to convict her, and she gets 1 year probation, which is what you get for first time offenders.
Mhm.
Which I'm glad they didn't try to give her, a higher sentence just
Yeah.
because they could. So what's interesting, though, I personally think the house full of cops who, there's dead body in your front yard and you don't even come outside. I think they were involved. Now, I do think that some of the people who say, hey, I never saw him come in the house, I believe them they didn't. Because if you look at the house, there was a front door, there was a garage, and in between the front door and the garage, there was like a little side door.
Mhm.
I think he went in that door. So people in the main part of the house, if he went in that door and went right into the basement, right, only certain people would have ever seen the guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they set out to kill him. I don't think that this was a plot. I think something happened and he ended up dying and then they had to cover it up. That's my opinion. But what's interesting is we watched so all the witnesses, the the guy who owns the house, and then it's like all of his family members,
Mhm.
they're all so upset because, well, we're just witnesses and our lives are turned upside down and people are giving us death threats and stuff. But then you go on Good Morning America and you give an interview. So you're so upset that like things are coming on you and now you go do interviews. If you truly wanted to be left alone, you would have like just gone home.
Gee, where have we heard that
Yeah.
same scenario from somebody? They go out and say, "We just want to be left alone. We want our privacy." After which they do like 15 interviews, a couple of TV shows,
Yep.
a reality show.
Mhm.
I mean,
I actually love Harry and Meghan for the record, but I agree. Um,
that whole
I
thing is
agree
just
though.
couldn't care
It
less
is.
one way or another about them. But the whole thing is just so
If you
mind-numbingly dumb.
correct, if you want your privacy, you don't go out in the public. But we watched this video of a body language expert who like analyzed our Good Morning America interview. What is
Mhm.
so fascinating is, the guy asked the one lady a question and she goes to answer and she looks the guy who owns the house. Like every single person, they would get asked a question and then they would talk. They kept looking back at him. Like, what are you looking at him for? You got asked a question. And during the
That's
trial,
not
because
weird.
I watched when she was the witness, and the defense had said like, "Oh, you got to get your story straight." And she said, "Well, there is no story. There's nothing to get straight. This is what happened. I don't have to get a story straight. If you don't have to get a story straight, and you're just telling what happened, why are you looking at that guy?
Mhm.
That the question that was asked had nothing to do with that guy. Wait, right? And then when they were answering, that guy would like mouth the answer he would kind of like butt in.
Mhm.
They all like, instead of looking at the interviewer, I'm giving my answer like this and I'm looking at the ground and I'm never going to look up and make eye contact. It was so fascinating. And then, I don't know what this part means, but he kept commenting because the guy's wife, she kept going like that, like puckering her lips together or like,
Mhm.
so I guess that means something in the body language world. I'm not really sure, but it was, like I said, these people, they know. I think they know what happened to the guy, and I think that's, to me, the real travesty of this whole case
Yeah.
is no one's ever gonna know what happened to him, and his poor family isn't going to know what happened because the cops didn't do a proper investigation. They latched on her. Her life is ruined, even though she was acquitted. I mean, let's face it, her life is turned upside down and ruined. But
Yeah.
it's just sad because you should want justice, and you shouldn't want to pin the murder on somebody. You should want to find out who actually did it.
I mean, you would think unless you had something to do with it,
Yeah.
allegedly.
But the guy, they were like, well, what, Why didn't you come outside? Well, I just got woken up out of a deep sleep, which they got a phone call like 30 minutes before, but here nor there. I just got woken up out of deep sleep. I was, partying the night before. So basically he's saying like, oh, I'm hungover, I'm not sick. He's in his underwear or whatever. He's not dressed. And by the time he knew anything, well, the guy was already gone. What was I going to do? I don't know. If I wake up in the morning, I don't care if I'm hungover and I don't have anything on, and I see a ton of cops in my front yard, I'm going to take the 2 seconds to throw some clothes on, right? And I'm going to open my front door and go, what the hell is going on?
I've greeted the cops in a row. Genuinely
But
don't. You're in my yard.
yeah,
I need to know why. Why are you
yes.
in my yard, bro?
That's the thing, is you don't know why he's in the yard. And the guy's a cop. And he goes, well, I'm not a Canton cop. I'm a Boston cop.
Go say hi to your brother and my guy.
So, but hold on though, because if you're a cop and you're off duty and something happens in front of you, like, don't you normally, like, you go to help? Like, yes, you don't have the jurisdiction to arrest people, but like, you go to help. Yeah, really, you don't open the door and yell outside, oh, why are you in my yard? What happened? Because how do you know that it's that your friend, which he said, oh, I'd take a bullet for him. You'll take a bullet for him, but you won't get dressed and open the front door. Got it, buddy. And then, one coincidence you could like write off, but they redid the basement and sold the house. They rehomed their dog. They changed cell phone carriers and got rid of their old cell phones. They, like 4 of them were all butt dialing the guy, but they didn't really butt dial because there weren't blank voicemails or anything. The dude who owned the house was having sex with his wife at the same time that he was butt dialing the dead guy. I'm not really sure how that works out. Like, I don't know what your life is like, but I don't know how you're butt dialing somebody while you're getting it on. But he actually claimed that.
Start dialing people while you're in the middle of a heated section. Like, you don't.
I guess.
I mean, I do. I'm in the middle of my thing, and I'm having a grand time, and I'm like, my first thought is, oh my god, I need to share this with somebody right now. They need to hear me. I need to share it with the world. Everybody needs to hear an orgasm. Not participate, but just listen to one. Why not?
Oh, we didn't answer. Let me hang up and call back again. Like, I mean, I
gotta call 5 more people.
There's just so many things. And then, like, the one lady, the FBI came to question her, and she, like, lied to the FBI. And then she tells the FBI, well, I need 5 minutes to go, like, change or brush my teeth or something, and I'll be down. And then the FBI said, okay, well, while you were inside, did you call anyone? And she said, oh, I don't remember. She made, like, 3 phone calls. But she's telling the FBI, oh, I don't know.
I mean, if she was super drunk, maybe she might forget because it was a drunk dial. But even then, that's not a great excuse because, call logs are a thing.
And the people who own the house, the wife, she admitted that she lied to the grand jury. Like, I don't know. This thing should have never been brought to trial. I mean, there's just so much stuff. Like I said, I personally don't think she did it. But even if you think that, and the biggest reason I don't think she did it is the medical examiner says that his injuries are not from a car crash. So how did she do it? If you say that she hit him with the car, yet that's not how he died, well, then she didn't do it. Even if you want to think, though, that she did it, they don't have the evidence. And, like, you just wasted a ton of taxpayer money on this trial because you had 2 of them. Ton of taxpayer money you wasted. You've ruined people's lives. And you never even investigated to try to find the real killer or to find what really happened. And that's just the travesty of all of this. Because now it's just unsolved.
Well, it's no different than that Sherry the one that did the Gone Girl hoax a few years ago. She kidnapped herself and then came back beat up and branded. She had her ex-boyfriend. She was staying with her ex-boyfriend, had him brand her. She beat herself up. and then came back and said that, oh god, what did she say? She was kidnapped by, illegal aliens or something, and they're the ones who abused her and everything, and it all just came crashing down because she's psycho, and she kidnapped herself,
Yeah.
and she did all this horrible thing. But I remember they tried to get the boyfriend for branding her because he was they considered him an accomplice in all of this, and he flat out turned around as quickly as could be and was like, nah, this bitch is crazy, it was all her, I wanted nothing to do with it. Like, yeah, I helped brand her because she couldn't reach, but that was because she asked me for like a week.
Yeah.
And but did you see though that she's releasing a new documentary from her point of view, and
God.
the trailer is just, when I say it is insanity in this trailer, I don't mean like rubber room crazy. It's just wild. This bitch looks in the camera with her whole chest, as she say, you think you know the story, but you don't know. Let me give you what happened from my point of view and the version of events. And it's like, ma'am,
Your point of view is that you're a crazy person.
I'm gonna need you to stop, because I've seen like at least three different interviews she did where she said four different stories. One interview I watched right after she came back and her hoax was found out and everyone was making, before she had gone to court to be charged with her false kidnapping and all of that. Um in the one interview, she contradicted her own story like within 5 or 10 minutes. She was saying one thing and then she went to go back and kind of clarify and give a little more detail, and the whole story changed. Ma'am, no one cares what you have to say at this point anymore. I am confused as to who thought making a documentary with this
But
psycho.
if they prove she made it up, what on earth are you going to put in the documentary? Like, you did it. You made it up. It was a hoax. Like, what are you going to, what is there to
I
say?
The fact that she only got like a little over a year in prison is just crazy. Because if I can recall correctly, she didn't have to. I'm sure she probably had to pay some restitution and fees, but I don't think she had to actually pay back like for all the search parties and everything. Because they sent out search parties for a
Yeah.
couple of weeks for her crazy ass.
And I'm surprised they didn't, because a lot of times if they find out that you acted maliciously, they do give you the bill for it, which they should, because why should everyone else have to foot the bill?
Well, they did that with that one woman, what was it, last year, the year before? The one that said that she got out of her car on a highway to chase a toddler down. She abandoned her car on a
Yes, it
highway.
was like in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yes.
That woman, I wondered
Hmm.
whatever. I'm gonna have to look into that one because that one was insane to
Forgot.
me. And you only heard about her possibly, they were thinking of bringing charges up on her. And they were absolutely going after her for all of the search parties and stuff because they paid out
Yes.
a ton of money for all of that. So they were going after her for all of that. And that was the last thing I ever heard. And I remember her family came out and released a couple of statements along the lines of, please leave her be. She knows she's made a mistake and she's just trying to move on with her life. No, that's not how this goes. Listen, quite frankly, obviously, these people are not getting enough shit talked to them. If
Yeah.
multiple people are doing this insanity, you should absolute hell bring back the medieval way of dealing with people. Bring them into the middle of town square, lock them into one of those things, and let people throw rotten food at them so they might think twice before doing something so stupid. I mean, just think the next time somebody goes missing, they're probably not going to be as quick to deal with the situation or send out search parties. You know what I mean? They may not bother
Yeah.
looking into it because, oh, it's just another one going MIA. She probably didn't want to be here anymore. Nah.
So, do you have Netflix?
Hmm.
You have to watch American Nightmare. I don't want to tell you what happens because I don't want to ruin it. It's only 3 episodes long and they're probably like 45 minutes each.
Hmm.
Um, but it has to do with this type of crime, and
Hmm.
it's good. It's really good. So, like I said, I don't want to spoil it for you. But American Nightmare, anyone's a true crime person, that's a good one to watch.
I'm gonna
Said
have to
it's not
watch
that
it.
long. Yeah, that one's good.
Well,
I don't get people that like just run away. If you right, why do you have to call in fake crimes? Like, I guess it's because you want that attention. Like, just go run away somewhere if you're not happy with your life. Like, it's not even running away. If you're an adult, you could just move, right? Like, just
I
leave, go
have,
do
there's
whatever.
I have a family member that actually did that. They just decided one day they were done. They did not want to be responsible anymore. They did not want to participate in family activities anymore. So they literally packed up what they left everything in their house. They just packed up what they wanted to take and what they needed, and they were gone.
Yeah,
And when we got concerned, went to the cops, filled out a missing persons report. The cops found him, tracked him down, and said, "Hey, your family's looking for you." They filled out a missing persons report, and they were like, "I'm good, but I'm not missing. You can cancel that, but I'm good." And do you know the cops came back to us, and legally all they could tell us was that that person was alive and they did not want to be bothered anymore. They did not want to be found. So the
yep.
missing persons report was canceled. That was it. That is not that hard. It is not that difficult. And there was nothing any of us could do about it.
It is
It's
because
not
you're
like
you're an adult. You're not missing. You have, as an adult, you have the right to just pack up and leave. You don't have to tell anybody. See, Perry said that that's what we need to do. That's Perry's dream, to just back up, boop, leave our stuff, leave. We're not even going to tell anybody. We're just gone.
I mean, I had a friend one time that ran away, and I told her flat out, I was like, "Listen, you want to do that? That's fine. By all means, do you. But you at least need to let your mom know you're alive. Otherwise, everything else is fine. You don't have to give any information. Just call her up, say, hey, I'm good. Don't worry about it. And be done." Do
Well,
you know he
Perry,
did that and had no problem? His family left him alone,
mhm.
let him disappear.
See, Perry wants to leave the cell phones on the kitchen table with a note, so this way, so they finally come look for us, that they'll just, they'll call the cops or whatever. It'll take a few weeks before anyone even notices we're missing. Then they'll call the cops, they'll come over, and they'll be able to see it on our table, and they'll be like, no, okay, they left.
I mean, if anything, if I ever decided to go, I would absolutely just go to the police department on my way out and be like, hey, listen, this is my name. If someone ever tries to file a missing persons report, just know I'm gone. Just tell them she's fine. She just left.
Yeah.
Be done with it. It's the same as, in my opinion, it's very, unless it's for an absolute safety reason. And I'm talking like you're not going to survive leaving. There's no reason for you to not tell at least one person in your life you're going. Like, and quite frankly,
Well,
the idea of I'm stuck, nobody's really ever stuck. If they are determined enough, there's a way.
I'm going to go out on a limb, though, and say if you are just walking away from your life, there's a reason you don't want to tell the people you're leaving, because they're probably part of the reason that you're walking away.
I can understand that, but there's even the worst situations, there's somebody in the field. You know what I mean? Like, there's not everybody in your entire life has to be. There has to be a coworker, a favorite customer, a neighbor, an acquaintance, a friend you barely get to see. Like, I can think of at least 10 people offhand that if I ever decided to go missing, they would be the people that I would tell, because if I didn't tell those particular people, I know they'd hunt me down. There's
Yeah.
not a doubt in my mind. And there's nothing I could do to
See,
stop them. So they would have to know.
we'll still be on the internet. You'll see us. You could talk to us. You just will never know where we are.
I mean,
No one will find us. We'll just be here. With the
Maybe
green
not
screen,
the
you'll never be able to see where we went.
worst idea for some people. Like I said, there's always a reason for it, but like I said, there's got to be somebody somewhere that you would tell, even if it's not somebody in the same state, a long distance friend, an internet friend that you play
Or I
gaming
like
with,
your idea though, just telling the cops. So this way, when someone finally calls the cops and say, "Hey, I'm going to report death dealer missing," they're like, "Oh no, no, it's cool. She stopped by and let us know on her way out of town. Everything's good. We're not filing a report." I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it does work. You can do that. I know for a fact you can do that. So,
See, this is why I need to win the lottery. It's why I need to get all this money. I'm telling you all right now, if I were to win oodles of money, I'm out.
note to self: when she gets that pink Piggles money, she's gonna disappear.
Exactly.
You know she's rich.
When I truly
So,
get that pink Piggles money, you'll know. I'll be gone.
so what you're telling me is if you ever go missing, I need to make sure I find you because you will have money for me at that point. Got it? I will come
Don't
find you.
So
It's
I'll
like a
remember
game
who
of
my
hide and
friends
seek.
are.
It's like a game of hide and seek. When I find you, I get money.
Yes.
The best manhunt game ever.
See, one easy step, win the lotto, right? Just one
Yeah,
step.
yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
very hard step. Very
But with all
impossible.
that, it's getting late, and
Ooh, yeah.
you have work in the morning. I have things to do in the
Ooh,
morning too, so I can't even
yeah.
be upset about it. It's
I'll say
rough.
goodnight to my new cute little kitty cat.
Yeah, go cuddle with your kitten. I might go steal my mom's puppy.
I keep looking down because Perry keeps sending me photos of how adorable she is sleeping. So,
Oh,
yeah.
my boy's sleeping next to me, as happy as can be. He's just thrilled I'm finally home. But he was mad that I smelled like another dog.
Oh, you cheated on him.
Mm-hmm. He just gave me a side eye for that. Like, you talking
Yeah.
about me? Yeah. I guess I have to go feed him cheese. He's an
Feed both of
addict.
you cheese.
Hmm. Yeah, I give him the cheese I don't really care for, so it's fine. He loves it. He's a very particular dog. He's not spoiled at all. You'd never know he doesn't eat treats. It's not because we don't buy them, it's because only peasants eat dog treats. He's bougie. He likes cheese. That's my boy. But with all of that being said, I will stop drowning on about nothing. I hope you guys all had a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful following week. Do something amazing. And if
Yes.
you're going to commit a crime, at least try to be smart about it and not get caught.
Don't connect stolen electronics to the internet, please.
Or do record yourself
Yeah,
so we can see when the cops bust in on you. That I want to see. If you're going to be a dumb criminal, at least be smart about it and record it so we can laugh at you later.
I agree.
Like the lady with the raccoon with the meth pipes.
Yes.
The world will forever. We don't know who she is, but we'll never forget her.
Yep.
Well, that interesting bit of information being said, and all of your common sense needs being fulfilled here. I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
And we'll see you guys next week. Join us on more common sense with us. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.